Hey there. Today I'm answering a question I get asked a whole lot. Should you buy Zillow leads? And the simple answer is, of course you should. Should not. Maybe. Hi there. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker at Maximum Realtor and Realty Partners. And today I'm answering a question I get asked quite a bit, and that is Zillow leads worth it? And when I refer to Zillow leads, I really am meaning internet leads. And personally, we find that Realtor.com and Zillow leads tend to be the best of the best in that arena. Not talking about Facebook leads, because I do find Facebook leads has the cheapest cost per lead pretty much in the industry. But if you're looking at just straight internet leads from like Zillow or Realtor.com, some of the other ones out there, really that's what we're talking about today. I personally like Zillow and Realtor.com. We don't see the return on investment with some of the other players. The advantage for the other players in the market is that they have a much lower entry point. It's going to cost you a lot less per month, but we don't see the returns either. So it costs you a lot less, but you don't make as much money either. So we see a much better return on investment with Realtor and Zillow.com. As to which we choose, a lot of times we choose whether or not we'll use Realtor.com or Zillow, depending on the area. We find personally that Realtor and Zillow, or that Realtor does better in markets where the Realtor brand is recognized, and Zillow does better in startup markets, first-time buyer markets, and upgrading markets. So in places like Peachtree City and Dunwoody and some places like that, we do really good with Realtor.com. But if we're in more blue-collar areas, we do really well with Zillow, and that's kind of our general rule of thumb. That being said, for both those leads, what you're going to do is you're going to buy a zip code every month, and it's going to run you between $800 and $1,200, sometimes $1,500. You'll find that the cost per zip code is really dependent on how productive the zip code is and how many leads and the quality of leads that it produces. Sometimes you want to be like, I'll go with this cheaper zip code over here. Well, sometimes you get what you pay for, because Zillow is kind of the king of real estate data, and they know which zip codes really produce, and you kind of end up getting what you pay for. So make sure that you look at that when you are going through and trying to decide which zip codes work best for you. They'll have different prices for the different zip codes. On average, you're going to get about 30 to 40 leads a month. 30, 35, sometimes 40, and you're going to find that one out of that is going to transact business with you. And that kind of follows suit to all lead generation, whether it's internet or whatever. Generally speaking, even if you're just calling past clients, if you're calling friends, if you are doing for sale by owners, if you're doing expireds, one out of every 40 conversations about real estate is going to transact business with you. The advantage and the easy part of Zillow and Realtor.com is that these leads are already wanting to talk to you about real estate. So you can have 40 conversations about real estate in a month, and it's going to come, and they're going to send them to you from Zillow, and one of those is going to transact business with you. That's really where the beauty of it comes. At the end of the day, you generally are going to spend between $10,000 and $12,000 a year to get about 30 to 40 leads every single month. Of that, you're going to make somewhere between $50,000 and $60,000 a year off that same investment. And does that work? For a lot of people, it really does. The other side of that is that for folks who take those leads and really do something with them, they put them into a CRM, a database, some way so they can keep up with them. Because it's very, very common to have a Zillow lead that takes 250, 300, 400, 700 days to transact business with you. So the folks who do really well with Zillow are the ones that keep those leads and continue to nurture and build relationships with them. Because if in the first year you make 50, 60 off that initial $10,000 to $12,000, the second year what we see is that as you continue to nurture and grow and develop those leads, now that same $50,000, $60,000 investment is now making $80,000 or $90,000 on you for the same initial investment. And it really does pay off much better long term when you roll it that way. And that does work. We see that work time and time again. Some of the challenges with Zillow leads. First up, they come in the evenings. Generally speaking, from 6 o'clock to midnight is when the bulk of your leads will come. Some will come crazy times, 2, 3 in the morning, that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, we see the largest influx of leads sometime between 6 and midnight. And for so many of us, that's a real challenge because that's when we're doing soccer games and having dinner with the family and hanging out and doing those kind of things that's just life for so much of us. But the real rub is that's when these leads are coming in. You've got a 5-minute window on on transacting and building a relationship with these leads. After 5 minutes, they're on to porn and cat videos. You have to be fast with these leads. And that's where the real rub for so many people come. So if you are really good at follow-up and you don't mind leads coming in the evening, then Zillow can really, really work good for you, and you can have some great returns. But if you're one that needs to have nights off and you think that maybe artificial intelligence or one of these autoresponders are going to work, it doesn't. And so you'll be one that says, oh gosh, these Zillow leads really stink and they don't work for me. So can they work? Yes. Do they always work? No, it just kind of depends. It kind of depends on you, how you're wired, and what you're really going to do with those leads. Too often we see too many agents that only work those hot leads that come in, and then they leave so much money sitting on the table.